Gary. Hello, it is December 2023. This is one of two videos I'm making about the CMF Watch Pro from Nothing. The firmware level of this watch is 11.0.0.47 and this firmware came out in the middle of December. And the idea is there's a video regarding the actual watch user interface and facilities and a separate video of the smartphone app. Let's get started. So there's one button on the right hand side. It's a very large screened OLED, very high brilliance screen watch, and press that. We've got a variety of different watch faces. You can hold the button down and then you can scroll, and that's my favorite face I think so far, and you can even have seasonal faces. I've not found a way to delete the faces yet. A minor point. Nothing. Right, so let's go back. We've set that watch face. Now the swipe actions. So there's a swipe up, which shows your notifications, and in fact this is the Achilles heel to me of the watch, which is that the font of the notifications is so small as to be totally illegible unless you've got very good eyesight. Also, notifications are text only, very badly formatted, and never contain any pictures. Okay, so that's notifications with a swipe up. If we swipe down, there's the main screen. If we swipe down, we've got like a quick settings menu. So top left is to turn off notifications. This is to turn on the torch. This is to start battery saver mode. This is to go into settings. This is to the select or deselect the raise to wake. So the screen would normally be blank, and as you lift your wrist, you'll get the watch face that I showed you earlier. This is the brightness settings screen, which just toggles and it increments. So I'll just show you that. It's up to 4, it's up to 5. Again, it's an extremely bright. It's probably, to me, strangely enough, as good and bright a screen as the Apple Watch. Back down to 1, 2, 3. So that is the quick settings menu. We get the date, the day, the battery percentage, and Bluetooth. By the way, the major selling point of this watch is that the battery life is literally days, and that's even when you've done activities on the watch. So the battery life is nothing less than extraordinary. It's better than the Apple Watch. It's better than my Garmin watches. It's probably the best battery life of any smartwatch I've ever used. Right, so we press the button again here. We go into this list menu. Now you can configure this menu to be in a different format, and I'll try and show you that, and to my mind that makes it totally illegible. So the first is the exercise. Now if I click on that, I've defined a minimum number of exercises here. I can't show you them because the watch is not on my wrist, and it does like it to be on the wrist. I can show you the fact that you can go into the settings, and instead of just going for a run, for example, you can say, I want to go for a 5-kilometer run, or I want to burn 500 calories on my run, and it will then set that goal in mind. By the way, swipe to the right is back. So back, we can see some records that I've currently made just as a test. So here's one we did. It's an outdoor run, 1:45 on Christmas Eve. We can see distance, time, calories burnt, pace. These settings are in kilometers per hour, but you can switch to imperial units with the latest firmware change. Okay. Next, heart rate, as you might expect. It's showing you a graph of the heart rate that it's been measuring all this time, and you can just press a button and measure it on the spot. Blood oxygen, again it measures that. It's been measuring it periodically, that's a setting. On the app, you can tell it to periodically measure blood oxygen and heart rate. and store it. And you can see that it's pretty close to 100, and you can do a one-off measurement by pressing this button. Next, activities. So this is a kind of like Apple-esque version of your activities so far in the day. Does sleep tracking, and you'll see that last night I only slept 5 hours. I had a bit of a getting up session to do some technical work between about 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning. I know, on Christmas Day, can you believe it? Phone calls. You can make and receive phone calls using the watch because it's got a microphone and a speaker. Music means control of the music that's playing on your Android smartphone. It does not mean downloading music to the watch and playing it there. It seems to work fine. Camera remote, that's a remote shutter. I'm not going to show you that because I'm actually shooting a video right now. I don't want to jigger it up. Weather is the weather in your current area based from your smartphone. If at any point it loses connection to your smartphone, this just goes blank, which is a bit silly. You could just remember the last weather forecast. In general, most things on this watch are a work in progress, and that's something you have to consider if you're actually buying the watch, in the hope that eventually it's going to be a fantastic watch, or if you buy it now, you'll probably be quite frustrated. Breathing, this is just a set of instructions to breathe in and out with an accompanying visual. Voice assistant is going to the Google Assistant to ask for help. Stopwatch is what it sounds like, a stopwatch. You can set preset timers, or you can run preset timers. You can set an alarm. You can switch the flashlight on or off. That can be done from that quick settings menu, which is very, very handy. You can do Find My Phone, which will ping your phone from the watch, and you can go into the settings menu. Okay, so here's the settings menu, which you can tread through that as well. So first we've got watch face settings. Now that is the thing that you could have got from the front screen, but in a different place. So let's just try and select that and then come back. Now, I think this is a mistake now, because the watch has now lost that setting. Where were we? We're in settings, weren't we? Back into settings. We've got the app view, which can switch it to a grid. Let's see how awful it is. A grid view, and then come out of that. And they're all the icons. To me, this is a bit of a nonsense. That I think if they were coloured, it might make it better. But to me, that's absolute rubbish. Right. Back into settings, app view, default, come back. Okay, display and brightness. Some of these you've seen from other places. This is again the brightness setting out of 5. Auto screen off, we can make it 20 seconds is the maximum. Screen on. Again, some of these buttons just don't work. AOD watch face. This is, you can have a separate watch face which is on all the time. Let's look at those watch faces. So the styles are like this, and you can see they're very minimal pixels. And the idea is that would be on your watch the whole time, using a little bit more battery. And then when you raise your wrist, assuming you've got that setting set, it's going to change the more complex watch face that you had selected. That's the idea of that. I'm not going to enable that. Okay, that's coming out of that. We've got sounds. And do not disturb. Again, this doesn't work quite as I would have anticipated. I tried to turn the schedule on before and okay, we have got a schedule here. So I managed to turn the schedule on starting at 1:45 and finishing at 8. Okay, so that says that's the schedule for quiet. Switch that off. We've got do not disturb mode, you've seen that earlier. You've got haptics, you've got the choices of strong, standard or off. Even on strong, it's not that strong. Language settings, important for many people. I'll just go through the list. There we got that. System menu is to restart the watch, power it off or reset it. Compare to a new system. And there's a user guide. There's an about. So this is the Watch Pro. It's a D395. It's got a Bluetooth address. It's running 11.0.0.47 and it's got a serial number. Oh, and one last thing I quite forgot. The visual interface has got one last trick, which is a carousel. If you swipe to the right, you go to the different parts of like quick actions. So you've got the time, you've got phone calls, you've got your sleep, you've got your weather, only works if the watch is connected, your heart rate, Apple-esque activity, and back to the watch face that you've chosen again, and it just rotates around. That's it. That's really it. Thank you so much for watching.